Another prolific business was the Aquarian bookshop. LA's longest-running black bookstore was conceived of by Alfred Ligon, who saved $100 from his paychecks as a porter to open a small shop with his sister at 812 East Jefferson in 1941. On August 11, 1965, a misunderstanding by a crowd of onlookers during a drunk driving traffic stop incited police brutality, sparking crowds to attack random whites in Watts. The next day, black leaders tried to calm the community down, and a black teen announced riots would spread into white LA, leading to Chief Parker, who refused to send black police, to announce he would mobilize the National Guard. He also called rioters monkeys in a zoo. This exacerbated the crisis, and the riot bloomed into looting, arson, sniper shots, and violence that didn't end until August 16th. 34 people were dead at the end of it, and most of them black. 26 were ruled justifiable homicides. 1,032 people were injured, and 4,000 more were arrested. Plus, there was $40 million in property damage. The McCone Commission, authorized by Governor Pat Brown, found that high unemployment and poor schooling and living conditions were the problem. It suggested an implementation of emergency literary and preschool programs, improved police community ties, increased low-income housing, more job training projects, upgraded healthcare services, more efficient public transportation, and many more. Of course, most of this was ignored, save for small concessions like 1968's Federal Housing Act. And when Ronald Reagan ran for governor of California in 1965, he blamed Pat Brown directly for the riots and said it was because he was soft on crime. Never mind all the rest of that shit that was mentioned, it's just because it was all about law and order. Chief Parker's profile raised after the riots, and he said communists had infiltrated the black community, and he died in 1966. Meanwhile, Reagan passed 20 laws by 1969 that expanded the power of police, prompting once warring teen gangs to turn to the Black Power movement and community watch groups like Community Alert Patrol, or CAP. Explained leader Ron Wilkins, wherever police were seen interacting with our people, we emerged from our vehicles with camera in hand to prevent foul play. By this time, the Aquarian bookstore was booming, but building a black stock of fiction and nonfiction wasn't enough. Aquarian organized classes, productions, and guest lectures. There was a spiritual center for those interested in metaphysics and a small archive of documents from black leaders. Ligon married one of his employees, Bernice, and their bookstore was a lifeline during the radicalism of the 1960s. Black bookstores across the country were nurturing the black literary tradition by carrying the works of writers from Langston Hughes to James Baldwin to Zora Neale Hurston to Eldridge Cleaver's Soul on Ice to the autobiography of Malcolm X. There was a wealth of black nationalist materials, post-colonial histories, and communist manifestos, things that would get certain buyers placed on COINTELPRO watch lists. In fact, black bookstores were surveilled in the 1960s through 1975. J. Edgar Hoover complained in a 1968 memo, "The increase in the establishment of black extremist bookstores represents propaganda outlets for revolutionary and hate publications and culture centers for extremism." As detailed by Joshua Clark Davis, Alfred and Bernice were one of many booksellers investigated by the FBI.